Hey there, welcome to Chief's Shop. Today I've got a tip for beginners on clamping when assembling with pocket hole screws. I know my plans, a lot of times I simply say clamp during assembly and don't really clarify that. So today I thought I'd address one type of clamping during pocket hole assembly. That is when you're creating something like a face frame or joining an edge to an end like you see here. I use a face clamp from Kreg. It's a locking clamp essentially. Two large faces for a lot of surface area when clamping. You want to clamp when creating a joint like this. All the alignment work that you've put in setting something up and you don't clamp it, you're just going to push those parts apart when you start driving the screw. So very important to do that. You can do it like I have here, just on the boards themselves, or you can clamp it to your workbench. As long as your workbench is nice and flat and you're not worrying about any bumps or tears or any sort of anomalies in the workbench surface itself. One thing that you can really miss a lot of times is a little spot of glue that may have come off another project. You may make sure you kind of scrape that down. Just make sure it's nice and flat and even where you're going to do that. Two things you also want to look at prior to doing this is board selection. For beginners, a lot of times you're just picking up the boards right out of the home center at Lowe's or Home Depot. You want to make sure that the boards you're working with are the same thickness. And I know you think, hey, I'm buying one buy, shouldn't it be the same thickness? Yes, it should. Is it? Not necessarily. Even a 32nd of an inch off can cause problems down the road. And you'll notice that as soon as you start to clamp this way, that difference in thickness, it won't allow you to clamp it tight either that way. The other thing is that you want to look at your edges. If you've ripped a board and your blade wasn't perfectly square, that's going to cause an issue for you. And if you've cross-cut a board and your miter saw wasn't perfectly square, that's going to cause an issue too. So a couple little housekeeping type things to look at before joinery begins. For folks that have planers, you don't really worry about that because you're just going to plane these boards to the thickness you need anyway. So it's really a tip for beginners. Well, I hope you found this tip helpful, and for more tips and woodworking plans and other items about woodworking, head over to my website, chiefsshop.com. And as I always say, time to get off the computer, get back out to the shop and make some sawdust.